During the War of 1812, there are 100 gunships of the line on the Great Lakes. Yeah, the Erie Canal, that's the one. Hudson to Lake Erie. New Orleans was America's main trade port before its construction. That's interesting. The first explorers thought Lake Superior was the Pacific. There are still major naval training centers along Lake Michigan, and the ships are all still there, smaller ones that can travel up the St. Lawrence. As a Michigander, Mordred, I'd love if the Great Lakes were sea zones, but unfortunately I think the thing that makes them so attractive for shipbuilding is what makes them so bad at being a naval zone. Super simple to keep hostile ships out. And I don't think that should change. Like, this game has mechanics that allows you to do that. The most obvious being fjords and archipelagos. It makes it really, really difficult to hide big ships in that. And it also makes it really, really difficult to send submarines through there. Or you could create a naval terrain for it, like Seaway or something, which makes submarines almost impossible to actually hide because not deep enough, and almost impossible to send big ships through there. It's doable. Like, the game has all of the mechanics required to do it. And we've seen from Old World Blues that you can actually do rivers as sea zones, though that is a bit janky. I don't think I'd do it for all rivers, but the Great Lakes I would. Alright, I feel like I'm kind of just throwing troops away. Well, no, we are making a couple of breakthroughs, just not very many. That's the French-Tuareg War, which is going to... Well, actually, everyone who doesn't have military access can go and help the French against the Tuaregs. How's that?
Listen up.
I'm just going to put all 5 of you in this.
Yes, sir.
Somewhere along the way we lost one of the RCMPs. Our gun deficits are getting worse. So stop just throwing yourselves at the enemy. And hold these lines. Italian Federation restored. Successful in the revolt against Italo Balbo and its radical ANI, the Venetian leaders today announced the restoration of the Italian Federation, the system of government put into place by Austria after the end of the Civil War but allowed to lapse in 1929. This time, the Concilio della Federazione Italiana, or the Federation Council, will not be led by Republican whites. Too many, it is said, have lost faith in democracy, and thus the Council will hold full power and be led by a leader of one of the states that compromises the Federation. While some assumed the head of the Federation Council would once again be the Habsburg Grand Duke of Tuscany, the Venetians instead opted to put their own Prime Minister, Giuseppe Volpi, in the seat. Considering his instrumental role in the revolt against the ANI, many in Italy consider him a national hero. So the Italian Federation is here. Which actually has a focus tree. Oh no, it doesn't, it's the same. ANI and power would be the Balbo path. Yeah, Risorgimento. Yeah, okay, I've seen this one before. Is Russia part of the Entente? No. And there are straight mechanics like Gibraltar and the Danish belts. True. Although those are some of the most janky mechanics in the game. They really don't work very well. And Suez. Alright, here come the tanks, though I am wondering if we actually have the materials to do this. Like right now, the AUS is just throwing troops at us, and I'm kind of happy to just sit back and let them. north. I'm a little bit concerned about how much they're encroaching across here, although they're right now fighting across the Rockies. So, good luck to you. Enjoy that. So long as I can maintain control of the... Oh, nuts! We lost Chicago. Huh. Well, what I was trying to say is so long as we can maintain control of the industrial centers, we will win. And then we lost Chicago. Oh, there's a motion being voted on. Fine, don't care. Air Force expanded. So we can have the Trans-Canada Airlines, which will give us production cost of all aircraft. We can get radio detection and radar stations. Ace generation, experience gain, air accidents reduction. Okay, yeah, Canada has got really good Air Force stuff. How are they doing for industry versus us? They have 88. We have 332. I mean, I alone have 72. Then the Pacific States have 102, so we still have very much got the industrial advantage. Okay, that's fine then. Do another royal visit. I don't want to spend the political power. I am purposefully saving it right now so I can get the tank designer, seeing as it's 1939, and I really want medium tanks! Oh. Oh! Right, when the CSA died, you were released. Cool. Let's put you in over here so we can keep an eye on that side. If I remember correctly, there's a battleship museum in the Great Lakes. There is. I've been to it. There's also... Amphibious Landing Museum, which was very interesting. Went into detail about how the D-Day landing ships were designed. And something I didn't realise is a lot of the heavy landing ships were designed to be reusable. They basically had a giant winch type thing to get them off of the beach again afterwards. They could go and get another set of supplies. Can you rename spies? You can rename their nickname, which is weird because it's not actually used again anywhere. So what you can do is you can change their nickname, like Wolf, but it uses their actual name everywhere else, Patrick Hamilton. So there's no actual point doing it. Pig Joseph, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Oh, what? You traitors! I spent basically no resources to try and get you on my side, and then what do? You don't join my side. But we're the good guys. The only way you could do the Great Lakes as a sea zone is that you could have small ships in to make certain tiles along the St. Lawrence be controlled. To represent the locks you need to control to get ships through, but for that to be realistic you'd have to have pressed massively into the US already, at which point you already won. I think it's mostly just so you can do shipbuilding back here, as again was historically done. So it's not so much to allow enemies to attack you there, it's to not have all of your shipbuilding on the coast. Right, we have got enough. Tank designer. We were going to get Leyland motors for that, plus 15% soft attack and the reliability. Now, I actually want to work on bring on the Valentines. The tank is a fast, relatively lightly armoured and armoured vehicle, designed to exploit breakthroughs in enemy lines and achieve rapid advances and encirclement. In a way, it is the spiritual successor of the cavalry charge, which certainly seems to appeal to our generals. And then we are going to start researching right now the 1939 medium tank, which we already have a bonus for. And then the next 200% bonuses are going to be for the 1941 tanks. At least that's the plan. Try naval invasions? Nah. I'm kind of happy to just let them exhaust themselves against us. As they keep doing. Like, they keep on attacking. Peru-Bolivian Confederation has joined the Buenos Aires Axis. PSA, how are you doing for manpower? Ah, damn. No, you're still on limited conscription, though. And the AUS doesn't have crazy amounts of manpower either. Can I make the PSA give more military access to other allied nations? No, that's something they themselves have to request. I can't do that for them. Unfortunately, Cleveland is already being guarded. What we can do is this.
Keep your distance.
And honestly, the bigger this front gets, the harder it is going to be for the AUS to guard it. Especially if I do a concentrated attack in one or two areas. Alright, new technology. 39. Get new artillery. We could go ahead of time to get infantry equipment. Which I'm actually somewhat tempted to do. No, we need industry. That's what we're struggling with right now. Speaking of, we are still building industry. Okay, that's good. And we have got enough oil now, so we can stop importing quite so much.
Yes, sir. Ready, sir.
Oh, no.
Move out. Listen up. Listen up. Yes, sir. Orders.
I can't believe this worked!
Taking aim.
Ha! Oh, AI, never change. Oh no, actually, please change. You lot never run. You are defending this till the last. What's my thought process when selecting what to research? What I need? What I know is good? What works into my strategies? It's more a question of asking me when I do it at the time, rather than a general overview. Like, that's such a deep topic. Need to make sure that Pittsburgh actually holds. Another 3 days to go. We do have some reinforcements trying to break through here. You could definitely attack into that. And if we get this cut off, that would be huge.
Ready to move.
It looks like that's going to happen.
Ready to move.
Empire of Japan declared war on the Qing Empire. Okay, so that's going to be Japan out of my way for a while. Alsace ultimatum. After months of low-intensity skirmishes and diplomatic game-playing on the German-French border, the two behemoths are poised on the edge of potentially the most brutal conflict mankind has known since the dark days of the Weltkrieg. Interesting.
Keep on moving.
Need to keep on defending, guys.
Advance.
Commune in France has declared war on Germany. And there it is. The beginning.
Move
This
out.
is not the end. This is not even the beginning of the end. It is perhaps the end of the beginning. Hit 2 million for Pathfinder. Nice. I'm glad for them. Like, they've really worked to achieve that. What does Asia and Europe look like? Unchanged. Like, the war has just started. Actually, that's not true. Asia changes quite a bit. Oh, Anqing is Japan aligned? No. So Qing and Anqing are already at war. Now Japan has just entered the war against Qing. Meanwhile, Guangzhou is fighting against Kunmin National Government. India is still fighting their civil war, which we are technically on their side, so we're not seeing much Indian stuff in America. Canada's motor industry. Production cost reduced 10% for everything. Canada has a rapidly growing motor industry in Toronto and Windsor region of southern Ontario. We need to take advantage of this industrial base and turn it into military use, expanding our output of troop transports and armoured vehicles. Does Tibet have a focus, or is it generic? I think they do. Not 100% sure on that one.
Ready. Yes, sir. Under fire.
Oh man, we've done it. Cut that off and we took Pittsburgh. Alright, so even though we lost Chicago, and it's not going to be impossible to take that back, because we can attack from here and here, we've taken Pittsburgh, which is another major industrial centre.
Listen up.
And not to mention a fairly hefty cut-off in the process. Now we just need to hold. Could definitely do with getting more boots on the ground. I mean, unfortunately, we're just getting worse and worse in terms of equipment. Who are we still lend-leasing to? We're still lending to PSA. Now that can stop. Oh. It already stopped. Are we seriously not lending to anyone right now? I'm not lending to anyone. So I'm getting all of these really hefty deficits just for myself. Okay, interesting. Need more steel. Really need to invest in my own industries. And get some more extraction. Need to do this badly. Denmark joined the Reichspakt for the moment. Huzzah! Two Sicilies joined the Reichspakt. I was kind of hoping they would join us, but it's okay. I forgive you for now. Baxander, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome to the Maudlings. Good to see you here. Thank you. Tibet does have a focus tree? Okay. If I could choose to remake any vanilla Hearts of Iron 4 focus tree, which country would I pick and why? Remake? Poland. Because since the game released, they've added a whole bunch of government in exile mechanics, which would suit Poland really, really well. So a combination of government in exile and also spy agency would make playing Poland after the fall of Poland very, very cool. So, Poland. And we are still sinking boats. No supplies for you, AUS. AUS has now lost 600,000 men. PSA has lost 700. PSA continues to build more factories, though. Although, didn't I used to have 88? Huh.
Taking cover. Listen up.
Oh, we're getting some promotions available, which we should probably do.
Keep your distance.
Auchinleck can get infantry expert. Do I want to do this? Yeah, I think I do. You are my infantry commander right now, so we're going to give you infantry expert.
Ready.
Viart. You, I really want to get improved improvisation expert. Fortunately, you don't seem to be gaining a bunch of experience. And then Fulks has not gotten anything yet, but he's gaining loads of experience, so Fuchs is on the right path. He's also about to hit level 5. Right, more factories. Good. And we are now actually producing everything. What do we need? It's just infantry equipment. Support equipment too eventually, but it's just infantry equipment we really, really, really desperately need right now. So that is what we're going to get. The fall of Barcelona, freaking finally. Reports from Barcelona confirm the Red Spanish city has been captured by the advancing Carlist troops after staged fights across the Serra da Costarola mountain range. Have they invaded Canada and I missed it? No. Finland needs a focus tree. I agree. I mean, there are multiple countries that need a focus tree, but the question was specifically remakes. I would say that Finland is the next one that needs a focus tree, and then probably Belgium, Sweden, Turkey. Trying to think if there are any other big players. I feel like I'm really missing somebody. Greece. Yeah, I'd say those are the big ones. Yeah, Bulgaria, another one. Greece probably more because they actually get invaded by Italy. But Finland is the big one. There we go. Carlist Spain took 6 states. The NTFAI have capitulated. So we are going to have a friendly state in Spain. Which is awesome. Alright, you guys need to put on some pressure here. These guys are coming to reinforce, which I will allow. Particularly, you go there, and you come here. Yeah, that'll do. Oof, look at that unit. Yep, they've gone. Right, 1939. We can now... We're already doing the tanks. That's good. Let's go and get concentrated industry so we can get more production output. Are any of you guys going to fall in the time that it's going to take us to kill this pocket? Probably not. If I can get one of you in here, which we can. Nah, we're good. We are good. Denmark signed a peace deal. And this is one massive group that we're killing.
Move out.
I think I'm going to move you there.
Taking aim.
Getting a little bit nervous by that 20. You've been pushed back. So long as you don't get pushed through here. Yeah, if you stay there, you're fine. 30. We're good. I think we've done it. Some of the armor is retreating, but they've done their job. I mean, they've paid for it. It's cost us. And it's a whole other argument whether the cost was worth it. Especially as this fight is taking so damn long. Come on, guys. Oh, crap. PSA is losing a lot of ground. Okay. There we go. Oh, boy. That made me a little nervous. There goes the Tower X, which is going entirely to France. Kingdom of France, Tower X. Still got to fight against Trabalbanyan and Algeria and Wadai. And then all of the troops which are over here fighting those guys can return to the American front. Right, I'm going to rest my armor divisions because you guys took a huge beating in that fight. But you did good. You did very, very good. And now let the regulars hold these positions for a time. That is, after all, what they are good at. Oh, and yes, stop attacking. We have some more air surpluses, so I feel like we can bring in another air wing of close air support. Which we'll put on close air, and we'll give to you. And there's the motor industry, so our motorized is now going to build faster. Focus on the army. Does not have focus on the RCN or focus on the RCAF. Ah, no. We probably do want the RCN. It's a bit annoying that they haven't made these as actual mutually exclusives. Like, separate from here. It's a bit of a weird way of implementing. Glad I read that properly. Alright, well in that case, I would say back to... Actually, can we clear out Quebec again one more time? Scroll, 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 scroll. Yes. That should be the last one. And then we can finally get rid of the Anglo-French tensions. In the meantime... let's get Trans-Canada Airlines. Founding a national airline company capable of linking the entirety of Canada by air is no small task. But as a simple airfield is all you need to link two cities together, this allows us to bypass the need for a titanic infrastructure works. The skills and the techniques we learn could also apply well to general air doctrines. And yeah, we do need to upgrade resources. Thank you very much for the reminder. That one. In particular. See you, fishy. And actually, on that note, we should really call the stream here. What I really wanted to do was take and hold Pittsburgh, which we have done. There is still very much a fight going for it. I was not expecting the AUS to be putting up this much of a fight against us. I thought that once the CSA died, that we would be the greatest benefactors. But actually, because we did such a good job of distracting, the AUS was able to just gobble up a lot of territory, and they are getting really strong. Yeah, they're up to 111 factories. PSA is down to 101. So while overall we still have way more industry, we're struggling a little. Not gonna lie. I think eventually we would win, but America is not the only people we're supposed to be fighting. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, be sure to hit that follow button to get notifications when I'm live again in the future. If you've really enjoyed this, then do consider subscribing. Helps the channel out, lets me do more of this kind of content. If you want to support the channel other ways, check out the Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/MordredViking. I do have a YouTube channel, which you can find at youtube.com/MordredViking, and also a Discord, which is where the community hangs out. They're a cool bunch, and it would be an absolute pleasure to see some new faces over there, so please do come join us. Let's see, we need the YouTube, we need the Patreon, and we need the Discord. Those are the links that you would need. Let's see, who do we want to raid? Let's raid Prompt Commander. We've raided him a lot recently, I know, but I like him. He does a good job. So, head on over there. I'd like to see his chat lit up with Viking Raid. If you just copy and paste that right there, then that'll do what you need to do. Meanwhile, Desolaire and Loose Cannon, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Alright, let's go. So, let's really light the chat up. Viking Raid, everyone. Viking Raid!